Hello, my name is Randall Fisher. Congratulations on purchasing your new GPS navigator. Sometimes you may just want to mark your favorite fishing spot, or perhaps your favorite diving spot, or maybe just retrace a route that you traveled before. Well, we're going to show you how to do that in this video, along with many other features and functions of your new electronics. We suggest that you get your owner's manual ready and follow along with us.
Congratulations on purchasing one of the Raymarine E-Series fish finder, Chartplotter, and radar combination display. Operation of the E80 and E120 model Chartplotter are included in this program. We have programs that cover the operation of fish finder and radar that can be obtained separately. The program covers the operation of the E-Series Chartplotter and CDI operation only.
The United States owns and operates the Global Positioning System. Although it is a very accurate and very useful aid, it does not replace the need for using good judgment and exercising caution, and should never be used as a sole source for navigation information. The Global Positioning System is a worldwide navigation system consisting of a constellation of 24 satellites circling the Earth twice daily, approximately 12,000 miles above the Earth's surface. Your GPS receiver calculates your position, or simply put, your location, through a mathematical process known as triangularization.
The very first time you power up your new GPS receiver, it will need to obtain almanac data from the satellites, or to find itself, so to speak. This process is called initialization.
To turn the display on, press and hold the power key unit until the unit beeps. The keys light up, and after a few moments, the display shows a navigation warning. After you have read the warning, press OK. There are 4 pre-configured pages, each containing 5 pages with a combination of windows and applications. There is also a custom option that allows you to select a particular combination most useful to yourself. The select page, press and hold the page key until the select page set window appears. Use the keypad up and down arrows to select an appropriate predefined group and then press OK. To select a page from the group, press the page key and notice the soft keys appear. You can select the page by pressing the appropriate soft key or continuing to press the page key to cycle through the selection. If the page selected has more than one window, the currently active window will be bordered in red. If you press the active window button, the active window will change to the other window. To make the active window appear full screen, press and hold the active button. To return to the window screen, press the active key again. To select your own set of pages, press and hold the page key. Press Edit Page Set. Press the appropriate soft key to select the page to display. Select the page layout you desire for the chosen page using the trackpad or rotary control. Press OK. If the page contains windows, the first will be bordered in red. Now select the application you desire for that page using the trackpad or rotary control. To select more windows to configure, press Active to move to the next one. Continue to repeat the process until you have all the windows in that page containing the appropriate applications. Press OK. The custom set of pages and windows will now be available to you. To adjust the brightness, press the power button. You can select daytime or nighttime operation under the palette soft key. Now use the rotary control to adjust the lighting. Press OK to return to the normal operation. You can check the status of GPS reception by pressing the menu key, and then using the trackpad up and down arrows to select GPS status.
The map page shows present position, course you've traveled, course you intend to travel, waypoints, and other things around you from an overhead view.
To use the chart as an aid to navigation, you will need the detailed charts that are available from Navionics. Your position on the chart is shown as a ship symbol. If you move the cursor over an object, basic information is displayed about the object. If more information is required, press OK. You will normally operate the plotter with the chart showing your vessel's current location. The default orientation is north up and the vessel moves across the screen. You will need to move the chart if your vessel moves out of the area or the current display. You may also wish to examine or place waypoints in another area not shown on the chart. To do this, you can use the trackpad to move up the cursor to the edge of the chart. Notice the chart will pan across. This is useful when you want to see an area that is just off the chart. The Find Ship soft key will also redraw the chart with the vessel at the center and the cursor homed onto the vessel. To change the scale of the chart, press the range key. Up arrow to increase the range or down part of the key to decrease the range. You can change the range quickly if you press and hold the range key. To change the orientation of the chart, press Presentation and then Chart Mode and Orientation. Now select Orientation. Choose the orientation from north up, whereas north is at the top of the screen. Of course, up where your course heads to the top of the screen. Or head up whereas the ship's heading is towards the top of the screen. You can choose the motion of your vessels relative to the chart. Just press Presentation and then Chart Mode and then Orientation. Now press Motion Mode. You can choose from Relative, True, or Auto Arrange. In relative motion, the position of your vessel is fixed and the chart moves. In true motion, the chart is fixed and the boat moves in relationship to everything shown on the chart. In the auto range mode, the size of the chart is such as to display the boat and your intended waypoint.
Now, let's get right into what you're probably most interested in, storing the exact location of any place in the world and returning to it at any time from anywhere else in the world, or what we call the Bennett GPS solution. For example, let's store this location.
To place a waypoint at your vessel's position, press the Waypoints key. Now then press OK.
Now, let's turn the receiver off by pressing the power key. Now, let's travel some distance away while the receiver is turned off, say at least 300 yards. Now, let's turn the receiver back on again. Notice that it only takes a few seconds to acquire our position, and we're ready to return to our starting location.
To return back to the same place you placed the waypoint, move the cursor over the waypoint until the letters WPT appear. This waypoint data box and new soft keys are displayed. Press the Go to Waypoint soft key. Navigation to the waypoint begins. You can also go to a waypoint by pressing the waypoint key and then the Go to Waypoint option soft key. Scroll down the list of waypoint to highlight the waypoint you want to go to and then press Go to Waypoint. Notice a dotted line attaches your vessel's position to the waypoint. Now let's select the Chart Highway or CDI screen. Press the Page key. Now select a page layout that shows the CDI. It shows your vessel in relationship to the intended course line and the destination waypoint at the top of the highway. Ideally, you travel down the center of the highway. If you should venture left or the intended course line, the display will indicate that you should steer starboard. If you venture right of your intended course line, the display will indicate that you need to steer to port. The display also shows your heading. cross-track error, cog or course overground, bearing to the waypoint, and the distance of range to the waypoint, and the VMG or velocity made good.
Congratulations! We're right back in the same spot that we stored in memory as waypoint number 1. You have just learned to use your receiver to store a position and to return to it from any location. Now let's take a closer look at your position.
Position is described by coordinates of latitude and longitude. Just in case you don't know, latitude is the angular distance north or south of the equator, measured in lines encircling the Earth, parallel to the equator from 0 degrees to 90 degrees. Longitude is the angular distance east or west of the prime meridian located in Greenwich, England, as measured by lines perpendicular to the parallels which converge at the North and South Pole from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Any point on the face of the Earth can be described by coordinates of latitude and longitude. Since all maps and charts represent the round Earth as a flat surface, mapmakers may use different theoretical mathematical models called datums to chart their maps or charts. Position coordinates will differ from one datum to another. Datums can be found in the legend of the map or chart. Most modern maps and charts use the standard USG84 datum, which is the default setting of your receiver. If you're using a map or chart with a different datum, you should change the datum used by your receiver to match that of the map or chart that you're using. Before we go to our destination waypoint, let's take the time to cover some of the basic principles of navigation and navigation terms. A straight line from your present position to a destination is called a desired course line, or sometimes a desired track. This straight line course should always be checked to ensure that there aren't any unforeseen obstructions or obstacles that might block your course of travel. The distance from your present position to the destination waypoint is called range. Bearing is the angular direction from north from your present position to the destination waypoint. The bearing can be a true or magnetic bearing depending upon the setup of your navigator. Maps and charts use true north. Compass bearings are magnetic bearings. The difference in true north and magnetic north is called variation. Magnetic variation varies slightly with time as well as changes in your location. As you begin to travel to a waypoint, your COG, or course over ground, is the direction of your actual movement. If you're traveling off course or not directly along the desired course line, then your COG will be different from the bearing of the original course line. The bearing to the waypoint will change depending upon your position at any point in time. The distance you're off course, either left or right of the desired course line, is called cross-track error, or XTE. The speed at which you travel is called SOG, or speed over ground. VMG is the speed at which you are approaching your destination waypoint. If you're not traveling directly towards your destination waypoint, your SOG, or speed over ground, will be different from your VMG, or velocity made good. As you travel to the destination waypoint, your ETA, or estimated time of arrival, may be displayed. ETE, or estimated time en route, may also be calculated and displayed by your navigator. Keep in mind that if you change your speed or course, your ETA and ETE will also change.
So far we have formed a waypoint by saving our present position as waypoint number 1. You can also create a waypoint by manually entering the coordinates of the position of any location.
To go to any place on the chart, simply use the keypad to place the cursor to any place you want to go to. Press Go To Cursor. Navigation begins. To place a waypoint at the cursor, choose choose the cursor location and then press the waypoint key. Now press the waypoint at cursor soft key. To place a waypoint using coordinates of latitude and longitude, press the waypoints key and then the waypoint at position soft key. You can now edit the waypoint position by pressing the rotary control to set the latitude, or you can use the up and down arrows to select the numbers. We will use the keypad. The right and left arrows will move the cursor to the next position. Continue to enter the longitude of the position. Press OK when you're finished. Next, let's edit the symbol by highlighting the symbol field. Now press the Edit symbol soft key, and then using the rotary control or the arrow keypad, highlight the desired symbol. Press OK to select it. To edit the waypoint name, highlight the name field, and then press the Edit Name soft key. Now use the trackpad to enter or edit the name. Use the left or right side of the trackpad to move the cursor to the character you wish to change. Use the top or bottom of the trackpad to scroll through the characters. When you're finished, press OK to save the name. When you're finished, press OK. To delete a waypoint, move the cursor over the waypoint until the letters WPT are displayed. Now press the Erase Waypoint soft key. With Are You Sure display, press the Yes soft key. You can also erase a waypoint from the waypoint list. To do this, just press the waypoint key. Now press the Review and Edit soft key. Select the waypoint on the list and then press the Erase Waypoint soft key. Now press the Yes soft key. You can also move a waypoint using the cursor. To do this, move the cursor over the waypoint until the letters WPT are displayed. Press the Move Waypoint soft key and move the cursor to the required position using the keypad. Press the Place Waypoint soft key.
A sequence of waypoints joined together that leads to a final destination is called a multi-leg route. Here's how you form and follow the route.
Often, a straight line approach is not the best course to take, and sometimes not even a feasible possibility. For example, a boater at this location may desire to go to a farewell buoy at this inlet. As you can see, a direct course line would take the boater across an island. The obvious solution is to form a simple route consisting of two legs. When the boater arrives to the first waypoint in the route, the GPS unit will automatically show navigation information to the next waypoint in the route, in this case the final destination.
There are two basic ways of creating a route, using the waypoint list or from the map. To make a new route using existing waypoints, press Routes, then Build New Route. Now select from Place Waypoint or use Waypoint List. Now move the cursor to the waypoint you want to include in your route until it is highlighted. Now press Use this waypoint. Continue building the route in the same manner until it is complete. You can save the route for future use by pressing the Save Route soft key. To form a route using the waypoint list, press Routes and then Build New Route. Now press the Use Waypoints list. Use the up and down arrows or the rotary knob to display the first waypoint in your route. Press the Insert Waypoint in Route soft key. Continue adding waypoints to the route until it is complete. Now you can save for future use. You can name the route if you prefer. This is done the same way as entering a name for a waypoint. To display information about a route, move the cursor over the waypoint until the letters WPT are displayed. Press Review and Edit this route soft key, and then press the Route Detail soft key. This information is displayed. Press Cancel when you are finished reviewing the route. You can display a variety of vectors to help monitor where you are going. Press Data and then Chart Vectors. This is the heading vector and course over ground vector. These are the wind vector and tide vectors. If you are off course substantially, you can restart the cross-track error reading by pressing this key.
There's yet another method of navigating to a destination that allows you to retrace your path along a track log that's automatically stored in memory. This eliminates the need to store waypoints as you travel to a destination.
Your navigator can record points or positions along any route or trail you choose to travel. Store them in memory, and you can recall them anytime later for use in navigating along that same track. The number of points recorded can be many or few, depending upon your preferences and the amount of available memory. Generally speaking, the more often you change course, the more often you should store points along the track. Long, straight-line tracks require fewer points than tracks that are short with frequent changes in course. If you intend to record a track to be followed later, it's always a good idea to clear any previously recorded tracks not needed for future use. This way you'll have a definite starting point and more memory to store tracks.
The track function marks the on-screen trail that your vessel has followed. When the track is switched on, it is recorded in the display unit's memory. To do this, press Tracks and then Start Tracks. When you finish recording a track, press Tracks and then Stop Tracks. Now choose Save or Discard Track. You can convert a track into a route. To use the current track, press Tracks and then Create Route from Track. Now press Create Route from Track again. If you want to name the track, select Yes. Or if you don't and want to use the default name, just hit No. To use an existing track, press the tracks and then move the cursor over the track on the chart, or highlight the track on the track list. Press Create Route from Track. There are several alarms and timers that you can use. An arrival alarm, off-track alarm, a countdown timer, and an alarm clock. To set up an alarm, press the menu key. Then use the trackpad to move the selection bar up or down to alarm setup. Now use the right arrow to select it. Use the right arrow to select the particular alarm that you want to set up. Use the trackpad down arrow to select an alarm. You can use the trackpad to change the volume of the numerical fields and press OK, or press OK to select a highlighted option. Complete all necessary functions to finish setting the alarm. If you should lose a person or object overboard and need to return to the location, you can use the Man Overboard function. To do this, press and hold the Waypoint Mob key for 2 seconds. The chart will be redrawn to 1/2 mile scale, and the current position will be marked with a mob symbol. The data box will show the bearing and the distance from your vessel to the mob position. To cancel the mob, press and hold the mob key for 2 seconds.
Once you have created a waypoint or a route, you can modify, review it, rename it, or delete it using the edit functions.
Press the Edit Waypoint soft key. To edit the symbol, for example, highlight the Symbols field. Now press the Edit Symbol soft key. Using the trackpad or the rotary knob, select a new symbol and press OK. You can edit the name or position of the waypoint in the same manner.
You can customize your receiver to best meet your personal preferences. For example, you can select to view units of measure in one of several formats.
Press the menu key. Highlight Chart Setup and then press the right arrow key. Under Object Information, you can select from points on, off, or all on. Under Vector Length, you can select particular vector lengths from 3 minutes, 6 minutes, or infinite. Under Cartography Setup, you can select a chart display, grid, text, boundaries, spot soundings, safety contours, depth contours, nav marks symbols, light sectors, caution and routing data, marine features, land features, colored sea bead areas, business services, aerial photo overlay, roads and additional recs. The following setup menus are available: System Setup, Compass Setup, Display Setup, Data Bar Setup. Under the System Setup, the menu allows you to set up the units. Select a different position mode. Select a TD setup. Turn the simulator on or off. Select a bearing mode, mob data type, variation source, manual variation settings. Select a language, extended character set, reset the settings and data, and set up the date and time. Under this menu, you can select which chart datum you want to use. The default is WGS84, but you can use one of the several under the local mode. On the main chart display, press the Presentation soft key. Here you can choose which waypoints you want to hide or show, chart layers, chart mode, and orientation. The chart view and set declutter off or on. Just press the soft key and make your selections.
Well, that just about covers most of the features and functions of your new GPS receiver. If you will thoroughly read your owner's manual, practice using your equipment, and review this video as often as necessary, we feel sure that you're going to be able to use your new navigator with proficiency and confidence. On behalf of Bennett Media, we wish you good luck with all your outdoor activities.
These best-selling fishing programs, all digitally remastered, are now available at a great savings to you. The Saltwater Angler series will get you fired up and headed in the right direction with habitat, range, and distribution information on all the major species of saltwater fish. Followed by How to Become a Better Fisherman, a one-of-a-kind program outlining a very unique and effective approach on steps you should take to become a successful angler. The Encyclopedia of Saltwater Sport Fish is an alphabetical presentation of all the major saltwater species, with the best time, place, and method for fishing all of them. How to Become a Better Fisherman is filled with advice and words of wisdom for anyone who takes fishing seriously. The Trolling for Saltwater Fish series covers trolling from A to Z, with information on everything you need and how to use it to catch just about any of the most popular species from the surface down. Trolling for Saltwater Fish covers the most successful techniques and methods of trolling, with information on small boats, tackle, electronics, and other equipment. Advanced Trolling for Saltwater Fish is the perfect follow-up, with more advanced information on all aspects of trolling, including lure selection and presentation, boat handling, and much more. Using downriggers to catch saltwater fish is a highly detailed and informative guide to one of the most effective but little used methods of trolling for saltwater fish. Sailfish technique centers on specific trolling methods used for sailfish and other blue water offshore species. If it's great bait or lures for catching saltwater fish, then the professionals in the highly detailed Rigging and Trolling series will teach you step by step how to rig and present it. This is an invaluable series for any serious saltwater angler. Rigging and Trolling Natural Baits features 4 top-notch professionals rigging mullet, mackerel, and ballyhoo using several different methods for various species of fish. Rigging and Trolling Strip Baits with Captain John Milroy demonstrates the technique used for rigging strip baits that make effective lures for offshore trolling. Rigging and Trolling Softhead Lures shows you how to rig and present the complete line of Moldcraft products. Softhead lures for a variety of offshore species, sea conditions, and trolling patterns. Rigging and Trolling Special Baits provides the details on using some very effective and highly specialized baits used by the top tournament anglers, such as the cutlass or ribbon fish. Rigging and Trolling Live Baits demonstrates the techniques used to rig live baits such as menhaden, mullet, scad, blue runners, etc., along with an effective method of chumming while you are trolling, and some key tips on trolling live bait over reefs and wrecks. How to Catch Baitfish outlines the procedures for using a shrimp net to catch both shrimp and baitfish, and using the cast net for baitfish. Fishing Knots gives you step-by-step instructions on tying several important knots for terminal tackle, attaching swivels and snaps to double lines, the Uniknot system, loop connections, joining lines, surgeons and loop and dropper loops, shock and double line shock leaders, snelling hooks, and more. The Big Game Fishing series is for the one who wants all the information and technique they can get on fishing the offshore blue water, featuring marlin, sailfish, wahoo, tuna, dolphin, and more, from the basics to as advanced as you'll want to get. Basics of Big Game Fishing is a great way to give those interested in big game fishing a big head start, with an in-depth explanation of what to expect from the time they leave the dock until they're in the fighting chair with a big one on the line. Big Game Fishing technique gets down to the important details of locating, fooling, hooking, and landing all the big game species, with an emphasis on the blue marlin. If you thought you knew it all, then be sure to check this one out. Video Guide to Offshore Fishing Technique is an action-packed guide to the most effective methods of fishing offshore, with an in-depth look at the most effective types of both natural and artificial baits, combination baits, teasers, daisy chains, spreader bars, and other fishing methods. Tuna 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 gives you the upper edge with inside information on the migratory habits and a host of little-known expert information on the hard-to-locate yellowfin tuna and the tackle, equipment, and know-how to put them in the boat. Dolphin, the yellow and green fighting machine, lights up your monitor with one of several large bull dolphin caught in the Florida Keys Atlantic, the Pacific Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico. And armed with the information included, you can light up your line with the yellow and green fighting machine. Blue, black, or white, they're all here in the Marlin Fishing Series, along with the exciting action and thrills that comes with hooking one of these incredible billfish, including a 482-pound world record black marlin taken on 16-pound test line. The ultimate blue marlin could be worth its weight in gold because it features fishing's grand prize, the hardest to find, hardest to hook, and hardest to land species that swims in the offshore blue waters of the world. America's fabulous black marlin fishing features the world-class action-packed fishing of the famous Zane Grey Reef and its big black marlin on light stand-up tackle. Billfish reveals some little-known tips and techniques on how to hook and land the hard-to-find swordfish, striped marlin, and white marlin.
Oh my God, it's beautiful!
The Sailfish on Light Tackle series unlocks the secrets of how you can catch several sailfish a day, or hook and land world record sailfish on 6-pound test line. Every detail is included in the 2-hour content of this series. Pacific Sailfish Volume 1 features the methods used by one of the most successful fishing teams in the world, the hooker fishing team of Jerry Dunaway and Captain Skip Smith. Pacific Sailfish Volume 2 keys in on the light tackle tactics and techniques, demonstrating just how you can catch big fish on light tackle anywhere in the world. The Exciting World of Saltwater Fishing series is a 3 1/2 hour entertaining and informative magazine formatted series featuring in Volume 1, Frank Johnson of Moldcraft Lures, exciting Palm Beach Sailfish Tournament action and dolphin, wahoo, and tuna action in the Cayman Islands. In Volume 2, highlighting Space Center sea trout, Atlantic sailfish action, and dolphin, wahoo, and yellowfin tuna galore. In Volume 3, Atlantic bluefish, a 391-pound blue marlin caught in less than 5 minutes, and Louisiana ladyfish in the surf. And in Volume 4, Virgin Island marlin, Gulf amberjack, rare king mackerel footage, and offshore trolling lures. The Inshore Saltwater Fishing series proves that not all big fish, and certainly not all the most exciting ones to catch, live offshore in deep blue waters. This series covers some inshore species that are found on the beaches and near the inlets and shorelines of our seas. Guide to Inshore Saltwater Fishing demonstrates that from inlets, bays, beaches, and sounds, you can catch a variety in species that provide pure fun and excitement if you know the keys to finding, hooking, and landing them from a small boat. Trophy Tarpon provides the details on how you go about catching the big silver kings. Cobia, Shadows of the Sea, shows you how to catch these migrating fish by first spotting them and then casting to them with some unusual but very effective baits and techniques. Shark Fishing Made Easy outlines the step-by-step procedures used to attract and hook up with these predators. The king mackerel video is the one for you if you want to catch the kingfish, as it's called by many, loaded with tips, tactics, and techniques for these speedsters. If it is a popular saltwater game fish found in the inshore or the offshore deep seas of the world, the Fishing Destination series with information on when, where, and how to catch it is included in this series. Deep Sea Fishing with James Marsh takes you on a tour from the beaches of a remote island to inshore waters of Florida and to the deep seas with exciting saltwater action. Fishing Destinations tells you where, when to go, and even how to choose the right charter to catch most any of the world's sought-after sport fish. Fishing the Gulf of Mexico thoroughly covers all the species that inhabit the fishbowl of the Great Gulf of Mexico, with more action than you can imagine. Let's Go Saltwater Fishing guides you around the country as if you were there fighting fish after fish and species after species as it describes the details involved. If fishing for the table as well as for fun is your thing, then knowing how to catch red, gray, mangrove, lane, vermilion, and cubera snapper, amberjack, triggerfish, grouper, and other bottom species is a fishing priority. And the Deep Sea Fishing series is an action-packed series that teaches you how. How to Catch Snapper deals with the specific methods, tackle, and equipment, and the types of bait that is used to catch the various species of snapper along with the techniques used to find them. Amberjack, the backbreakers, will make you want to hang on to your chair while you get the details on how to locate, hook, and land these hard fighters. Bottom Fishing Technique Volume 1 focuses on how to use your electronics to locate bottom species on artificial and natural reefs, anchor or position your boat over them even in a wind and current, along with proven techniques used to catch them. Bottom Fishing Technique Volume 2 provides the details on the tackle and equipment, specific types of baits, and specialized methods of hooking, landing, and even filleting the bottom dwellers. The Top Tips on Saltwater Fishing series provides just what the title implies, the best tips you can get on finding fish, fishing methods, tackle, bait and lures, tactics, techniques, and skills needed to be a successful saltwater angler. Top 60 Tips on Saltwater Fishing is certain to have something beneficial to anyone interested in catching more fish, irrespective of the level of their experience. Blue Water Fishing Tips reveals key things obtained from some of the world's most experienced captains, mates, and anglers that are certain to shorten the learning curve for the big game angler. Tips on Freshwater Fishing series has 160 tips, any one of which could mean the difference between success and failure on your next fishing trip for any of the highly sought-after freshwater species, plus 1 hour of instructions and technique on catching the world's most popular fish, the bass. Top 60 tips on freshwater fishing is almost like a checklist of do's and don'ts for anyone wanting to make the most of their time spent trying to outwit their favorite species. Follow the tips and you'll catch more fish, simple as that. Top 100 Fishing Tips is certain to have more than a few things that'll improve your skills, as well as the final results of a day on the water on any lake, river, or stream. Bass fishing technique will teach you more than you thought possible about the largemouth bass, strictly for the bass angler that takes his fishing seriously. Don't lose out on becoming a better fisherman or this great savings opportunity. Order yours today.
Beautiful fish.
That is, she's giving me a little slack.
She doesn't have one little mark on her.
Nope, that's fresh, shiny silver fish from the ocean.